there we go. And there's our Titan. Today, we're going to take a look at Brass Tactics. Now, one of my earlier... I'm going to turn the music down here just a bit. One of my first reviews that I did was for Brass Tactics Arena, which is the free version of this game. So I'll just go over kind of briefly what the differences is between the free version and this version, which is the paid version. So other than the title, there is actually a difference between the two. First and foremost, though, I will say that, as I just mentioned, this is one of the first VR games I played a couple years ago, did a review on it and all that good stuff. And I've still come back to it time and time again, even as the free version. And I have since obviously paid for the full version because I think it's money well spent with the time that I've had. So first things first, Brass Tactics is a tabletop role-playing game or RPG strategy game, or a real-time strategy game rather. So it's kind of like if you're thinking a StarCraft type situation or Warcraft, but obviously in VR, and it's got a really cool vibe to it. It's kind of a steampunk, mechanical, clockwork, kind of, you imagine like the opening to Game of Thrones, that type of look and feel, how the city builds up and all that stuff. But first main thing you get with the paid version is the campaign mode. There are 8 levels of it, as you can see. I have not played through those yet, so I can't comment on the quality, but it's basically, here's your setup, take down the other base. So it's nothing too crazy. You can play solo. In the free mode, you only get one map to play in a skirmish or solo mode, whereas here with the paid version we had different maps. I have not played all of these yet, so we're going to take a look at one of them here. Didn't want to do that yet. So you can also play against other people in the free version, but again, you're limited to just that one map. Same thing with co-op. You can play against or with your friends. All of that is available in the free version, but you are going to be limited to that one map. So not too bad as far as you're not really hamstrung as far as learning how to play the game or even being able to play the game with friends. It's always a cool thing. So the other thing that we'll go to here, and this is really cool. So this is how you set up to play the game. The main difference here between the paid version, which is what I'm in now, and the free one is you do not have all these options for colors. So right now I have kind of the red and black theme going on here. But the way that this works is you, in this area anyway, let's say we pick up our warrior here.
These warriors are your essential core melee unit. They're trained to work in tight squads. Each unit is a wondrous feat of mechanical engineering, designed by our most accomplished architects.
Okay, so this is your basic grunt soldier unit. I'm not going to go through all these because the guy's kind of annoying after a while. But the thing I love most about this game that I think does better than any of the other VR RTS games that I've played so far is that there's a real rock, paper, scissors feel to it. So the warrior in this case is strong against the cavalry, the tank, and the rocketeer, and of course weaker against those other units. And every single unit has strengths and weaknesses, so it kind of balances and really makes you kind of think. And because this is VR, you can kind of sneak over to your opponent's area and see what he's building and then kind of counter appropriately. It goes through the different upgrades for that unit. Let's say then I wanted to change, because I have the paid version now, I wanted to make him blue instead, or any of these other colors. That's something that you can do in the paid version that you can't. And then of course you have other, like an alternate finish. Those guys up there will mirror or match whatever you're doing there. So these, what's going to do? Oh, okay.
Wasps, necessary. They are your airborne squad. I do admire their construction, for they are truly a masterpiece of engineering. But I must admit, I loathe them.
Anyway, so these are actually the buildings that you'll place on the map to spawn that particular unit. So the last thing I'll get into here as far as the difference between paid and free, is this is a balanced set. So it's kind of a mix between offensive and defensive units. Now, pretty much all the units can both attack and, of course, take hit damage, so they're all kind of offensive, defensive. But again, you're looking at the rock paper scissors things, and then plus they're just some are just better at others than others. So you have access to the aggressive in both versions of the game. Again, more offensively, and then defensive. So those three you get with the base game. Now, for the paid version, you can also create a custom loadout, which allows you to then mix and match between those offensive and defensive and balance. So maybe you like one version of a unit versus another in one of those other builds, but it's, you know, you can't mix them out. Now you have that option. So as far as the actual makeup of the game or the options you have, this is the big difference of why you might want to think about paying for it. So I'm going to keep that custom one. There's two big main units, actually. I lied. I'm going to go over those real quick, which is the airship, which is pretty cool. And there's also the Titan. So you can only pick between one of these two for endgame.
I'm still baffled by this massive dirigible. A function.
Here we go. So he's kind of cool.
Here we have a prime example of a giant humanoid form. You need that for mobility.
Yeah.
And to wield the massive hammers.
I'm gonna do the airship for now.
I'm still baffled by this
blah.
massive dirigible. A function I understand.
I'm gonna leave it on easy.
Our units to itself.
I have not played this map.
Any of our nearby squads and units. How in the Blue Lady's name did Zavolto develop this bit of artistry?
How in the Blue
Looking
Lady's
at it,
name?
I think he must have stolen the plans.
Okay.
Or maybe he might have wooed away an architect from the Academy of Nadane.
Now you can see why I didn't want to go through all those. So I'm going to leave it on easy just so I can kind of talk and explain what's going on as I play. The other thing that you have in addition to the maps is there's only one AI opponent when you're playing the free version, which is this guy. He sounds a lot like Littlefinger. I mentioned Game of Thrones before. I don't think it's a coincidence that that happened. So I've never played against this guy, never played on this map. We're going to go ahead and do hopefully a skirmish here. Is that one? Yeah, solo. Ravine Canals. I think that's the one I was on. This guy, easy. So we're going to go ahead and go with my custom loadout. The game does kind of start off a little slow, which is actually a good thing if you're new to it, or if you just want to be sneaky and explore what's going on.
The Scions will battle for control.
Cool gloves.
Combat begins in 3, 2, 1. Commence.
So to move around.
I have a special challenge for you. A riddle. We hurt without moving and poison without touching.
So with that's building, I'm going to go over here. This is my opponent. I guess it's a lady, not a guy. You can see the little guys going here to get gold. That's the stat here. Periodically, you're going to get diamonds. Those just are kind of on a cooldown. So he's already got cavalry guys. So I kind of want to, believe. We'll see here. Try to get some guys going here. And if you're ever not sure about what does what here, I thought there was a way to see it in the game. Maybe not. But I believe the warriors are good against the cavalry. It's the archers that are not. So we're going to go ahead and you move around by gripping. I think I started to say that earlier. And then kind of pulling the world around you. So it's a really nice feel. You can kind of even like give a good shove. You can also, with both hands, lift up and down if you want to get a better shot of the action here. I probably should start building a little faster here. The units, these cost only gold.
Power Q full.
And then you can also upgrade your base. I always go for production first. To do that, you pick it up, you set it on your base, it kind of builds up, and then these guys work a little faster. So I'm also going to go out here to try and expand. Always a good thing to do in an RTS game. So I'm going to take some of these guys over here for that. I'm going to take some of these guys over here for this one. To move them, you point at them, you squeeze your trigger, and it gets that little rubber band thing going on there. I want this base here because it's attached to this gold mine. And once my units actually get there, I'll be able to place other bases down. So actually, let's get this one instead. So then I can go ahead and get some archers. Now that that's opened, I can also build a little turret there to help out. And now that's going to get me more resources. And this will be soon. And before I build there, I actually want to upgrade my base to better archers. Oh, still need more diamonds. So right now, let's take a look at what our opponent's doing. Still just kind of looking around to see what's what. Ideally, you want to get the flying units before your opponent does, if at all possible. They have a pretty good advantage against most units. So I got my second base upgrade, and it's actually building it bigger, unlocking more upgrade spots. Again,
Our castle is increased in level.
Game of Thronesy. And so now that we have an extra increased level, now we can also build different units. So I'm going to go ahead. Oh, I can't do those yet. Let's go ahead and do, let's see, 9, 10. I'm going to wait around for both of those. I'm going to risk it.
Tower maxed.
And build some archers there. We're still looking good. About to get that 10th one. I'm going to get some dragons up here. So now I have some ranged on both sides. I can build this turret here. I have enough diamonds for it, but I think I'm going to save up. This is a pretty big map. It's about, say, 50% bigger than the free version map.
Nope.
Nope, indeed. Got too many guys going. Alright, so what can we build here? I'll go ahead and get some artillery going. Those are mainly offensive units. You can also set them up in a siege type mode, where they will stay put and just kind of shoot at anything that comes near. Since I'm on a high ground here, that would not be a terrible idea. And
not enough ore.
These guys should be okay with a dragon helping them. There we go. And I need to look at a base upgrade here before too long too. Ideally factory would be next. And now we've got a dragon. So he's kind of cool. I'll look around here. And he's just gonna kind of chill out. And these guys are good. Good defense there. So I'm actually going to get some of our artillery working. We've got a lot of guys here, so I'm actually going to take 2 of these archers and send them over here with these guys. Yeah, so this is a really, I would say this would be a really good map for if you had a human partner. And then once he's in place, you can press the A button, and he will then transform into his siege mode. The tanks, which I don't think I have tanks, they do kind of a similar thing, but they have a shield that goes off and kind of acts as a protection. You can get mechanics, which are healers. It should be my next priority, actually. I want to get my base going here. 8, and I need 10. Here we go. Perfect. Yeah, so you get diamonds from each of your bases there. It's how I leveled that up quickly. So obviously you want to expand very, very quickly. And these guys.
Tower queue full.
You and while the queue's going, if you target the base with your trigger, your units will automatically go to that spot once they're spawned. That's usually a good real-time strategy trick, if the game allows it. So we got this guy. Should have another. Yeah, here he is. Kind of have to be careful not to get too many guys at once. I think I'll go ahead and get that. And put him in siege mode. So I got a pretty good defense right here. I feel good with just letting those guys earn.
You really never learn, do you?
And let's go ahead and upgrade our dragons. Probably should start building some more dragons.
Our population is at maximum.
Okay, so now I can't build any more units unless I either upgrade my castle or get some killed. So if I was feeling frisky, I'd probably send some of these guys. Yeah, these guys are kind of... We'll send them on a scouting mission. You may have noticed that when I initially start to control them, it's gold, the band is. If you press forward, it will turn it red, and red means they will attack anything that they run into between those two spots. So we're going to have us a little battle here. Oh, yeah. So there's some of that rock, paper, scissors action right there. Is that had my other unit not come up, I think we would have had some troubles, but we did all right. So he's got a base right there. And he's got a base right there across the way. So what we're going to do...
Units.
Oh, yeah. We're going to get these guys probably killed. Ooh, lost our table here.
Must you really?
And let's upgrade our mechanics.
Tower maxed.
And let's see these guys die horribly. And while that's happening, we're going to have a little trickery.
Our castle has increased in level.
And send everyone over here. Now these are mostly ground units, so they're going to have a hard time with my dragons. Oh, except I don't want these guys up front. Those are my mechanics. I want them out of the fight. The banner is the health. So as the units get damaged, the banner around the edge. There we go, and those guys can't really... Are those archers? Yeah, those are archers. They can hurt my dragons. But probably won't very much. So let those guys sit there. And let's go ahead and get better dragons again.
Tower Q full. Enemy castle is improved.
So he just got to level 2 with his castle. And this is one of the final upgrades for the castle. It basically turns all your little guys who gather gold into suicide bombers.
Trouble with invading is that then you
So
have to
it's kind of a nice thing to do, except for you got to be sure that you're done building and expanding. And I think we're about ready. Yep, we are ready for the airship. Now I've only had this airship one other time, so while things are pretty well underhand over there, I'm going to watch this build, which you may think is silly. It's actually just kind of a cool animation when these things get built. Mostly the airship here, and then also the Titan, which I'll splice in the Titan immediately after this, just so you can kind of see both of those, or at some other point in the video you'll see the Titan. And again, this is one of those deals where I get in 2D, it kind of looks okay. In VR though, when all this stuff is like right in your face and you can move around and see the different angles, it's a really cool thing. So it's getting bigger. And again, this is basically the end game unit for the army that I have set up, one of the two. And there it is. So this ship heals. I believe it can transport in some way, but it also attacks. So basically, you just have all your troops rally around this guy. And let's go ahead and get our last upgrade in. Let's see. Archers. I don't really have many archers, or those really. I guess just my dragons, which I already did too. So let's do artillery. We'll send some more of those out. So there we go. We're getting up to level 3 with our castle. We'll send some
power maxed.
Send some of these guys up here to the rest of the gang. I actually don't have very many ground units.
Squad limit reached.
Yeah, so now I'm going to have to get some guys killed. So let's take all these guys. We're just going to do a full-on attack. Got maximum units, and just because, let's go ahead and do the power stores. So instead of these guys going to get gold, they're now going to carry bombs directly to the base. They're not super strong, but it's a constant stream of them from all of my bases that I have. So it's a very big annoyance, but like I said, you have to be pretty much done making units because you're not going to get any more gold. So what I'm going to do here is just take all my guys. Yeah, he's got some flying units now. And we're going to head right to his base. I'm going to hold my flying guys back a little bit.
That's your choice. Oh, my poor dear.
Get these guys going too. I would like to see like an attack all button, so like you just send every possible attack unit all at once. That would be nice. But yeah, I think we got this pretty well in hand. Again, this was on easy, just so I could run my mouth and tell you what was going on.
Oh, no. How really?
His castle, the banner there is his life. Hers, sorry.
You have claimed this land.
So you can kind of play with
You
her.
have defeated my squads. But did you discover the answer to my riddle? It's word theory. Words hurt without moving, and poison without touching. They bear truth and lies, but are not judged by size.
Okay, good to know. Then you get a little recap at the end. So again, just a fun little fun RTS that I keep coming back to. So we've got a good foothold here. We got some good choke points here. So I'm gonna go ahead and build the Titan unit. He's just not giving up there. So this is the other end game unit. Move these guys out of the way. I chose the base that's closest to them because this guy, as you might expect, is very big but also very slow. And this is probably the coolest part of the animation here. And there we go. And there's our Titan. You can only have the one. He moves very slowly. So, and of course, he's a big old bruiser, so you kind of want to send him in first. Then have all your other units fall in behind.
When I was a boy, my father took me on a trading expedition here. I had never seen anything as thrilling as watching the merchants strike bargains.
So yeah, that's pretty big damage. Always a good idea to bring mechanics. I don't think we need any more upgrades. We should be good. Now he's on fire. He doesn't care.
I have no patience for your incursions.
But yeah, once you get that end game unit, whether it's the Titan or the blimp, that's pretty much all there is left. At least against the AI. He's not even gonna make it. One more shot. Nope. Didn't even get a shot in. Bummer deal. So that is Brass Tactics. An amazing game for the free version, and it somehow gets even better with the paid version. I would definitely say even if you've never really been into RTS games in the past, like with a mouse and keyboard type situation, because this is in VR, it seems to be a little slower. You don't have to worry about the quick changing meta that you would in other similar games and stuff like that. So I'd say it's a really good beginner game into that type of genre if you've never tried it, and it's the style of it, the look, the feel is just great. So I definitely say give it a try. Check it out.